Let's create a cozy fall backyard fire pit on a budget. Hey everyone, it's Christina from the DIYmommy.com. It's the quintessential fall weather out there. I tried to shoot this intro outside, but there was a wind problem, there was a rooster problem, so I'm back here shooting inside, but as you can see, it's gorgeous outside. I thought it would be fun to try to extend our socially distant, entertaining season into the fall by creating a fire pit in our side yard. I found some amazing budget-friendly chairs. I DIY'd a bar from Pallet. I added some cozy accessories, did some upcycling, so I'm gonna share all of that with you today, and I hope it gives you some ideas on how you can create a beautiful outdoor space going into fall. Let's get started. First, let's begin with a bit of upcycling. I'm taking this Rust-Oleum Specialty High Heat Spray Paint. This is good for high heat surfaces like barbecues, wood stoves, and in my case, this really old fire pit. We got this several years ago and it's gotten rusty, so I just cleaned it and scrubbed it with a wire brush, and now I am painting it with this high heat spray paint to give it a really budget-friendly makeover. This is a great way to upcycle an old fire pit on a budget. My husband grabbed a load of sand and crushed gravel. We had a few hills of it in our backyard from our house built several years ago, and he put it down in the center of this side yard area, kind of our side yard slash backyard, and I'm just raking it out into a circle. My wish would be to put down patio stone here and do a beautiful sort of rustic stone circle one day. However, that's not in our budget right now, so I'm just going to put down this sand and gravel, and then maybe next year or the year after, when we have a bigger budget, we can put down some stone. Now, this is my favorite find for this makeover. These are Muskoka chairs, 100% Canadian made. They're kits that you can find at Costco.ca Canada, and I'm going to leave a link to them down in the description box below. The cool thing, guys, was these were only $60 Canadian for this whole kit for the chair. That's including all of the cut pieces, all of the screws, and everything you need to build the chair. I would highly recommend investing in one of these battery operated drills and one of these battery operated sanders if you're going to build 5 of these chairs like I did. These are the handiest tools and so easy to use. So these chairs come with really simple instructions. Just make sure to read through everything from start to finish. Note the size of screws. There's 2 different sizes. I didn't note that for the first chair I built. And you can see that these pieces are not sanded. Everything is cut really well and there's pre-drilled holes, but you do need to sand these pieces so that each piece is nice and smooth. But overall, I was really happy with how these looked all sanded. The instructions were clear. I was able to build my first chair probably in an hour and a half, and then I built all of the rest in about an hour each. So it was definitely a lot of work. I soon realized that crouching like this was not smart, so I did build the rest of the chairs on a proper construction table, but otherwise they were really simple to make and such a good price. I've always wanted this classic style Muskoka chair for a fire pit, and this was a great way for me to get one for every member of our family on a limited budget. And here is how the chair looks all finished. I was super proud that I was able to build 5 of these myself, and I debated for a long time whether I wanted to stain these or paint these. I did sort of a poll and a question in my Instagram stories, and a few people said that they found these lasted longer when they were totally painted in outdoor paint. I already had this paint on hand. This is the same color as my front door. It's called Dreaming of the Day by Cloverdale. So me and my middle daughter started painting these, and soon thereafter my husband came outside and said, hey, I need to spray these with my spray gun because this is going to be a lot quicker than hand painting them. He was absolutely right. Plus it was a lot easier for him to get in the little cracks and things of these chairs. If I can find his spray gun online, I will link to it in the description box below. Such a fantastic tool for something like this. After the chairs were all painted and dried, I was able to set them up around our little fire pit area here. I love how these chairs turned out. Next, I'm going to show you how I made a really simple sort of outdoor bar from Pallet. Now, I built this in the summertime, so that's why you see all of the green trees and grass. And I used it in the summertime kind of in our pool area, but I wanted to show you how I styled it in our fall fire pit. I cut 2 2x6s and 3 2x4s. So the 2 2x6s I put on top, made them the same width as the pallet, and the little 2x4 pieces, they're about 1 foot in length. I placed them underneath the pallet just like this and screwed them in place so that the pallet was able to stand on its own. I am keeping this build extra simple and very rustic looking, so it's very easy to recreate. And to affix all of the wood pieces to the pallet, I'm just using 2.5-inch long deck screws and my battery operated drill. The 2 2x6s for the top, I'm just making sure they're centered on the top of my pallet, using a measuring tape to make sure that's the case, and then using those same deck screws to drill them onto the top of the pallet. All of this material, the pallet, the 2x6s and the 2x4s, I just found in our backyard, so this piece was absolutely free for me to build. I'm using my battery operated sander for this as well. Again, totally recommend investing in one of these. It's such a great tool. And I gave everything a relatively rough sand. I wanted to maintain all of the little textures and things on this piece because obviously it's a very rustic piece, but I just wanted to make sure there was no big splinters or things that could get in the way. I debated for a while how I was going to finish this piece as well, but ultimately I decided to do a whitewash. So I put about 1 part water and 1 part white paint that I had on hand, and I mixed that together, and then I painted that onto the wooden bar. After I painted a section of this on with a regular paintbrush, I just took some paper towel and wiped it off. So this way you see the wood grain through, but then this bar kind of gets a nice whitewashed look. This was actually my sister's idea, and I think it turned out really nicely. Here's how I styled this rustic pallet bar beside our pool area on our back patio for the summertime. And here is how I'm styling it for the fall beside our fire pit. I'm just putting it on the side of our house here, adding some faux and real pumpkins, some hydrangea from our garden. And then I found this tray in my stash. It's a nice long narrow tray, so it fits well on top of this bar. And I'm putting some parchment paper on it, and then some marshmallows. And these celebration cookies are our family's favorite cookies to make s'mores. Keeping it really simple, just the marshmallows and the cookies. And then I have these battery operated LED lights from the dollar store, this little disco ball ornament from dollar store, and some mugs, and a jug of hot chocolate and some napkins. And this, I think, makes a really simple, rustic looking s'more station for our fire pit. Back over to the fire pit area, I'm adding some fall mums in some antique buckets, as well as this IKEA basket full of some textiles, some more pumpkins, and then I'm adding a blanket and a pillow to each of the chairs. Now the idea here is that I'm going to basically bring this basket full of textiles out to the fire pit area each time and then bring it in. I'm not going to be leaving these out in the rain and eventually the snow, probably in a couple weeks, because they're going to get ruined. So the basket is just to bring all the textiles in and out. And then the final touch for this fire pit area is to build a fire and enjoy. This backyard fire pit area is definitely simple and budget friendly, but it's the perfect spot for us to have some fun with family and friends in our backyard. We're able to extend the season of outdoor gatherings and enjoy cozy fires as the weather gets colder. Thank you so much for watching this video today. I hope you enjoyed it and got some ideas for your own backyard this fall. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of our fire pit area. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more DIY and decor ideas on a budget. I'm gonna leave some more videos that I hope you will enjoy right up here.